A lot going on here in the Queen City. There's trying streaks in uptown Charlotte, home of the Hornets. Coming to you live on this Tuesday night, it's the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome everyone to the broadcast table. Chris Webber to my right, Greg Anthony to my left. I'm Kevin Harlan and David Aldridge on our sideline. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the Detroit Pistons. Then on Friday, they'll be matching up against Gordon Hayward and the Boston Celtics.
And for that matchup with the 76ers, it's always interesting for top teams to see how they compare to the best in the East. This will be a chance to see just what this group is made of.
Now the starting group for the visitors. They've got Slim, Shorty out there at B-Train. Then it's D, and for the Hornets, Monk and Batum, the wings. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist out there with Bismack Biyombo. And it's Rozier in at the point guard position. Chris, you look at the grind of a regular season. Adam Silver seems open to fewer games or even fewer minutes per game. What do you think of that?
This is one that I'm not with, Kevin. You know, in my day, you had guys play 82 games. And let's go back to the days of Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. They were playing in shoes that basically were socks, and they didn't have tape, and they didn't have all the things that we're privy to in the medical industry. So I think we should keep it at 82 games and minutes the same, because it keeps a full context of sports where you can talk about Harden versus or Westbrook versus a Big O. It keeps the argument in the same place. I think fewer games, fewer minutes starts to change the dynamics and the expectations of what players can do. I don't mind changing and adding tournaments, letting guys get more rest, but I think the number of games and the minutes of the game has to stay 48 minutes, has to stay 82 games in my opinion.
Very interesting.
Good anticipation on the feed. He knows exactly where to go with that ball.
Batum brings the double team. There's the pass to B-Train. 6 to shoot. Here's Shorty. Biyombo with the block. First quarter, just over a minute played. And it's blocked. And he recovers it. Here's Kidd-Gilchrist. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2.
An outstanding rebounder for a wing. Kidd-Gilchrist making his presence felt at the offensive end.
Here's B-Train. Coming off a solid outing against Minnesota. Here's Aguilar. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Rozier, the pass to Monk. Back to Rozier. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. Gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Shorty, the pass to Aguilar. Pass to D. Shot clock at 6. Pass to B-Train. Here's Shorty. He's covered by Kidd-Gilchrist. No good on the triple. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for Charlotte. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
Live by the 3, die by the 3. If you're perimeter dependent, you don't really know game to game how it's going to go.
Yeah, Greg, and when you're not connecting from deep, you got to mix it up. I mean, look to score inside more. They didn't do enough of that.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Pass to Monk. To the inside. Shot clock at 3. Here's Rozier. Drains it from 17 feet out. Here's Shorty. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Minnesota. And one of those little spark plug guys, Terry Rozier, plays the game with Greg, I think, a chip on his shoulder.
I mean, the story goes, as a kid, when his temper flared, his mother would have to sit on him until he cooled down. He's learned to channel that fire and emotion into his game.
Now, here's Monk. 23 points for him the last game against the Lakers.
And they kept fouling him. I mean, it only made him more aggressive. He wound up having a huge night at the free throw line.
That gives them the lead. Shorty's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
It wasn't even close in their last matchup, and their offense just wasn't ready to compete at that level.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Cody Zeller's checked in for Biyombo. Williams comes in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Bridges in for Nicholas Batum. Now, here's Rozier. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. Knocks it loose. And they're on the break. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
Yeah, going defense to offense in an instant. Every team now calibrated to do that.
Now, here's Monk. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Zeller, whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Now, there's the high basketball IQ of Zeller. He knows he's going to get whacked, but he turns it into an and one.
And with Cody Zeller, he has a very workmanlike approach when he's on the floor.
Yeah, Kevin, and that's what Zeller is all about, playing a simple meat and potatoes type game. I mean, what he does won't show up in the box score, but it'll show up in the standings.
What's up?
And that one falls for Zeller. Chris, we talk about perimeter scoring becoming more prevalent. The biggest shift coming from bigs shooting more threes.
Yeah, they are now counted upon to space the floor. And the better you can shoot, the better you can space the floor. And then more importantly, if you can knock down that three, you become a triple threat because now you can shoot there, maybe you can dribble and get by, or because of your height, you see different passing lanes and you can be a better passer, getting your teammates involved, and they like that spacing as well.
Sinks the triple.
Oh, man, elevating his passing ability. Dimes like this from Rozier help him establish chemistry with his guys.
Thompson passes the ball. 1:12 left in the first quarter. They get it back. The good-looking shot from the wing.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Now Rozier dishes it to Bridges. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
For so long, the Hornets have been a perimeter-oriented team. Chris, now they need to find an impact big man.
Yeah, well, Jay, remember, they did have a couple of good years with Al Jefferson where he was a force inside. But that was the last time the team made the playoffs. More balance in their attack would do wonders for this offense.
Hernan Gomez is checked in for Charlotte. He hits the second from the line.
You know, what I love about Bridges is just the all-around game. He scores, rebounds, passes, and defends well, too. Just an exciting young prospect.
Here's Big Smooth. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Hits the three-point bomb.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
And here's Rozier. He brings it up for the Charlotte Hornets. Trailing by 4. 6 on the shot clock. Fires from deep. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Oh, beautiful looking 3-ball from Rozier, really expanding his range.
Over to the wing. Here's Slaughter. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Monk for 3. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. The away team up 3. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the visiting team, what do you think?
Showing a lot of confidence in their rotation. They went right to that bench when they needed points.
Credit to coaching, GM. Some guys wouldn't have made those substitutions in the first quarter, but now it's paying off.
Beast out there with Big Smooth. And it's Big Daddy. Then it's Thompson. And it's Chan in at the shooting guard position. That's a 2 from Rozier. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Rozier's got 7 points. Shooting has been sensational. 75% for the game. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Charlotte's had to wait a bit the last few years. The city hosted the All-Star game last season. But for the Hornets, they've gone 3 seasons without a playoff appearance and 15 seasons without winning a playoff series. In that time, the franchise has had 7 head coaches and a shifting front office. But Buzz City is hoping that its wait for playoff relevance will end soon. Kevin?
We all are. David, thank you. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Here's Big Daddy. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And how about then not settling? I mean, instead of being lazy with the shot selection, they go right to the rim.
Charlotte calls timeout.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Without question. They're giving up too many high percentage looks, a trend that they'd like to reverse.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for the Hornets. Batum comes in for Rozier. On defense, the visitors. Washington passes to Kidd-Gilchrist. Outside, Batum. Knocked away. Fast break, here we go. Here's B-Train, and he lays it up and in.
Just playing with poise and confidence, and they continue to put points on the board.
Yeah, Greg, they're just playing smart basketball, reading the floor well and executing.
Now here's Batum. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Lakers. Looking to end the run, and it's blocked. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Yeah, right now it feels like they can't miss. We'll see how long they can make this last.
Here's Monk. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game.
And you see the improvement in that mid-range game by Monk. He really wants to be a knockdown threat from all 3 levels on the floor.
Oh, that's blocked, and the shot is good. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Outside, Batum. The pass to Hernan Gomez. Outside, Batum. Just 5 to shoot. Monk for 3. A new 14 for Charlotte. Hernan Gomez kicks to Monk. Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. Monk's got 7.
How about the quickness of that release by Monk, an experienced catch-and-shoot player who feels comfortable firing from deep. Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And after watching Willie Hernangomez, play a few seasons, it is clear he has skills on the offensive end. It's the rest of his game that needs a little bit of rounding up.
And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And that's a perfect setup. Solid screen, defender can't avoid it, opens up a clear path to the bucket.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Zeller comes in for Hernangomez, and it's Williams in for Kid Gilchrist. The Hornets shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
And guys, you'd have to say this run really triggered by their transition offense.
As you mentioned, Hernangomez is a good option, Chris, for points at the center spot, but defensively still a work in progress.
Yeah, he has the potential to be a starting center at some point. You see the flashes on defense and with rebounding, but he'll just be a spot-up player until he can be a difference maker in those areas on a nightly basis.
Biombo is checked in for the Hornets. Shot clock at 6. Batum inside the 3-point line. And again, the Hornets missing.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
You're exactly right. That's the kind of shot you're trying to work for at the offensive end.
Chris, the NBA has flattened now the draft lottery odds. And now that you've seen it at work, seen it in play, any additional changes you might make?
Well, Kev, I still a wait and see for me. I definitely like the NBA making sure they try to address the problem. You never want a team to think that they can be rewarded for losing. So I like what we've done so far, but, if I'm a GM, if I'm a president, I'm always going to try to find ways to manipulate and find that, those open gray areas. And so I think this is something we're always going to have to address, but I love the fact the NBA has gotten ahead of the problem.
Well, like the Clippers of a year ago, they looked like, gosh, they've lost all their superstars, but they gave it such a great go. They actually made the playoffs.
Yeah, and it started from the top. Mr.
Right.
Barmer said, listen, we do not want to lose. We're going to go in and we're going to play hard. And I tell you what, I think that's what rewarded them during free agency by able to go out and recruit players and say, listen, we don't lose here. We just need you to take us over the top. And I think that's a pretty good recruiting pitch.
Charlotte calls timeout.
And the talk in their huddle is going to be about taking care of the basketball. Their turnover numbers are terrible.
Let's quickly take a look at the standings out east. The season nearly complete. Taking a look at Charlotte. It's been a rough season for them. The good news is the lottery is only a couple months away.
And for the Hornets, they talked all offseason about how this year was going to be different. Nobody bought into it then, and nobody's buying into it now.
We all know talking the talk is easy, but carrying it through, that's another story. The naysayers' predictions were basically on point.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. Let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Has to be. On target from 13 feet. B's got his first bucket in this one.
And pro move there. Finds a way to gain some separation against the much taller defender.
Yeah, showing that short area skill allows him to create some space.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Come on, man. The concentration that Batum has had on these and-one plays is amazing. He's used to finishing through physical contact.
Miles Bridges, he's checked in for Cody Zeller. Charlotte shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. That free throw good from Batum.
Well, that is because Batum is one of the most versatile players in the league. His ability to score from any spot, pass, rebound, and defend, that's what makes him so unique and important.
Count it, good.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Rozier looking around. There's the dish to Batum. Passes it to Bridges. Over in the corner, Williams kicks to Batum. Bridges passes to Williams, and the shot goes down.
Well, the grit Williams played with is admirable. You love how he finishes despite getting roughed up a little bit.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, you can't blame the ref for making that call at all. The defense in general is already at such a disadvantage as it is.
And here is Bridges. Here's the teardrop, and the layup is up and in.
And solid at just cutting through the defense. Give Bridges a lane, and he'll make you pay.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. The away team up 10. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Checking out the visiting team. Shaq, let's get your insight on the visiting team.
I like their commitment to that inside game. Boy, get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Nice game. Great performance by D.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
Yeah, the offense looks crisp, and guys are hitting their shots.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for the Hornets, Rozier and Monk, they're the backcourt. Bismack Biyombo is out there with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Batum in at the 3 slot. And the pass to B-Train. Here's Shorty. There's the triple. Bangs home the trifecta. Shorty's got his 3rd basket of the night.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Here's B-Train, and he finished it off with a lay-in.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Biyombo kicks to Rozier. Kidd-Gilchrist trying to free himself up. Drops in the layup for 2. Rozier's got 11.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
You'd like to see a little more energy coming out of halftime on the defensive end.
Pass to Aguilar. Fires from the corner, and a little luck that time, but it drops. 9 points in the game so far.
A rock-solid start for them. I mean, they're 3 for 3 since coming out of the locker room.
Monk, the pass to Kidd-Gilchrist. Just when you look around the NBA, which player most emulates the style and approach that you have, and you were special. But so you've got to have a very special category for this one, I'm sure.
Well, thanks, Ken. That's flattering. I like to be in the categories with these guys because I'm such fans of them. But Blake Griffin, when I think about him, and also Joel Embiid, the fact that Embiid can shoot out on the floor, he can space up, but in the post, he likes to go to work as well. I just think he gives you such a mix of offensive moves that you can't stop, that as a defender, you're always worried and on guard and looking over your shoulder because you don't know what he's going to hit you with because he has so many options.
But in my mind, there's only one Chris Webber.
Oh, thanks, man.
D passes to Shorty. Passes it to B-Train. Here is Slim. Here's Shorty. He's got 7. Makes good on the step-back jumper. Shorty's got 5 points in the quarter.
They have ridden him today, and it has paid off in a big way.
Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Rozier with the ball. He's got 11. Let's go. Gets a very good look and converts. Rozier's got 13.
Well, he's done his part, no doubt about it. Still yet to miss in the game.
Here's Shorty. 9 points in the game so far. To the left wing. Right wing. Tries it from 19. He gets that one. 6 points for him.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They are rolling.
Charlotte calls timeout. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. And those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. And some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. And it's out of bounds. The Hornets able to retain possession here. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Monk.
And he's got it going at the foul line these days. His free throw percentage looks a lot different in the last 10 games than it did earlier in the season. He's tinkered with a few things and really improved his form.
And the Hornets making a change here. Williams has checked in. Lays it up and banks it in. Big Daddy's got his second basket of the game.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Oh, yeah, and that's what you love about him. He shows no mercy, even with a comfortable lead.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. From deep. And once again off the mark by Charlotte.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Trying to take advantage of that extra space on the perimeter. We see a lot of this now.
And really the story of this second half. One team getting the shots they want, the other not so much.
Yeah, you can clearly see which offense is better right now. We'll see if that continues the rest of the way.
Monk with the ball, working on Thompson. The shot's good from Monk.
And it takes a lot to shake Monk off his game. Even if you surround him, he just seems to find a way to score.
There's 1:17 left in the third quarter of the game, and that one drops for him.
And now 6 straight points here coming on the inside.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Charlotte moving it around, and Zeller kicks to Bridges. Pass to Kid Gilchrist. Launches a three. That shot off the mark.
And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
Oh, man, did you see him close that gap? What a great job. He made the shooter feel uncomfortable.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. You have to know the scouting report. He's a threat from out there.
Out to the right wing. Puts it up from 17. And it's Monk that time on the assist from Kid Gilchrist. Kid Gilchrist has got his 3rd assist on the night. Here's Big Daddy. He's got 6. On the wing, Thompson. Drains it from beyond the arc. Thompson's got 6.
For the most part, he's been sitting back tonight, letting his teammates carry the load. Nothing wrong with that.
And so it's the visiting team closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And we'll be right back after this. Assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. They've got Baller, D out there with the beast. Then it's Thompson, and it's Chan in at the 2-guard spot. Outside, Batum. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
That's just years of experience coming into play. Batum's aggressiveness and basketball savvy, I mean, it puts defenders in difficult spots.
Here's Baller. It's deflected. And with a younger generation of fans cutting the cord, Adam Silver has talked about ways, Chris, to make the games, the NBA games, more accessible.
Yeah, and as a guy, Kevin, that played on the West Coast, I know many people aren't happy with this idea, but I say move the games up an hour. Move it to 6 o'clock so that I could watch LeBron on the West Coast when I'm living on the East Coast and be to bed by a normal time where kids can stay up. But how about the streaming? I mean, you can watch it on your phone. It's so many better and different ways now. I mean, before, if you were traveling, you could never watch a game because you had to be by a TV set stuck into a wall. Now, that's your phone, your pads, and everything else. So I love the game. It's becoming more global because of the expansion and how we've gotten players out there in front of fans. And now, with the access that fans have through some type of mobile device, I just love it. I love it.
Ball's knocked loose. And it's out of bounds to the Hornets as Charlotte retains possession. Six to shoot. Poke loose. 2 on none. No one back to stop this.
Every team looking to get easy ones in transition.
Greg, that's about as a high percentage a look as you're going to get running the floor beautifully.
Now, here's Rozier. D right on him with the teardrop, and that's 2 points on the layup.
Oh, even from that range, the floater is one of the toughest shots in the game.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Baller, defended by Bridges. To the middle.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And, Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Hornets trail by 21. Now the pass to Hernan Gomez. Now Rozier. Lets it go from 11. Again, the Hornets score.
That's an easy. We call those bunnies. That's what they need.
Baller, defended by Bridges. It's blocked.
And the impact Bridges makes on the defensive end, showing he's not to be messed with.
Shorty, he's checked in for Baller. Down low. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Chris, what's your definition of most valuable player?
LeBron, Michael Jordan. Okay, the best player in the league. That's my definition. Who makes players better? Who brings the fans into the game? There's only one type of player that's an MVP, and there's only about 6 guys any year that can be MVP. But if you're talking about guys that help you, let's say, are the best on a contract or getting the most bang for their buck, you got to look at guys like a Siakam. You know, he's just making over $2 million this season, still playing on that rookie contract. And those are the guys that are on their way up. So you can always find young talent playing for maybe less than what they should be getting at that time. But the most valuable player continues to be the top 6 players of the league, period.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding
after that one.
And the Hornets call time here.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, D.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. Knocked loose. Here's Shorty. Pass to B-Train. Passes it to Aguilar. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
And Chris, whether it's KD or Kyrie, we've seen stars grow irritated with constant questions about their free agent destinations.
I would just suggest to them to go back in time. Nothing's new under the sun. Watch guys like Shaq, Mike, myself, other guys that were free agents. It's a time to talk about it, and it's a time not to. And you can even speak about your impending free agency without insulting the fans where you're playing and without guessing of maybe where you will go next year. I just think that guys just need to be a little more sensitive with it. Fans really want to know, and if the media is going to ask you the question, you got to figure a way how to handle that out delicately.
Well said. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet more set on that screen. Easy call.
Yeah, even a slight movement is going to catch a ref's eye. I mean, they're trained to focus on that.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Welsh is checked in. Washington comes in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Martin's checked in for Nicholas Batum. And Dwayne Bacon subbed in for Terry Rozier. Martin the pass to Washington. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Oh, fantastic dunk. And he hangs around up there just for a little camera time.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to land awkwardly. Who knows? But there he is, and we see it very clearly.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
Welsh passes to Monk. Here's Welsh. 5 to shoot. Three-pointer. Martin can't hit that one.
And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
Oh, man, did you see him close that gap? What a great job. He made the shooter feel uncomfortable.
And they'll keep possession. Kept alive. Slaughter. And at last, they get one to fall.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Showing remarkable poise and focus throughout the game. A sustained effort across the board.
Monk for 3. That one, no good. And they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, they got to be happy with the outcome.
Here's Big Smooth. The visiting club takes the win on the road. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.